Hi everyone. Good evening. Yeah. Welcome to Codes Vita. Someone could you please confirm in the chat? Is it my voice is audible? Is it clear?
Yeah, yes, Murli.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the confirmation, Arun. I can see that a couple of responses. That's really great. So I hope you guys can able to see my screen, right? So before we talk about like what is cloud computing and why do you require the cloud computing and how we can able to deploy an application in the cloud, so how we can able to accessible to everyone. So before we're going to discussing about all the topics, I just want to introduce about the what is Codes Vita, why we are here, and how we're going to help the students. I just want to the confirm you all. Let's see here. See, the Course Vita, which is the basically it is the online learning platform, which is located in a Hyderabad location. Basically, we deal with the data science, we deal with the cloud computing, and we deal with the DevOps, and we deal with the MLOps. So these are the codes. The basically right now we are offering to the Codes Vita. If anyone would like to learn about the data science, if you would like to learn about the MLOps, if you would like to learn about the cloud computing and DevOps, we are going to provide the expertise trainers to teach you about the complete in-depth hands-on understanding about this course it is. So this is like I just wanted to give the heads up about the codes Vita. So let's coming to our session today. Today, see, we're going to discussing about the cloud computing, right? Before you are going to hear about what I'm just going to teach. So I'd like to introduce myself. Myself Murali here. I have 10 years of experience into IT. From last 5 years, I'm working into the cloud, DevOps, SRE projects. So I have my own startup in a Bangalore. I'm a founder and CEO of the Cloud Client Technologies, where we used to deal with only about the cloud and DevOps projects, and also we used to handle the relevant projects as well. So if anyone would like to cross verify the profile, you can just go ahead and you can check with this LinkedIn profile. You can able to see my profile and you'll understand about who I am and where I came from, what is my expertise, and everything. Okay. This is all about the introduction part. So what are we waiting for? Let's start with our session and we'll start discussing about the what is our today's agenda. See, I'm just gonna take this 1 hour session. If you guys have any questions and if you have any doubts, I think chat box is opened. And also those who joined from the YouTube live stream also, you guys can able to ask the questions to the chat so that I can pick it up the questions from there. I can able to answer here. I can clarify each and every questions. That is what I just want to convey through this. Okay. Yeah, that's fine, absolutely. And we'll start discussing about the first, what is our today's agenda and what we are going to learning about this particular today's live session. Okay. See, the first we'll start discussing about the what is the cloud computing. Yeah. So before I ask, before I'm just going to explain about what is cloud computing, I just wanted to hear from you all. So what is cloud computing? Can I get some responses in the chat quickly? Yeah, those who joined from the YouTube also, guys can able to make a chart. I just want to hear from you all. What is cloud computing? I can see that some of the responses is talking about the storage space. Okay. Advanced form of the computing technique. And we use resources which we can able to access over the internet without buying, setting up your premises. That is also great. And hosted services such as data servers, the VSC is great. There is online network management. Okay. And also we can see the data managing in efficient way. That is also fine. Is it a server which provides a big amount of storage space? It can be accessible by the network. Oh, that's great. Again, yeah. Can I get some more responses? Cloud computing is on-demand availability resources, especially data storage and compute power with direct active management. Okay, that is also great. Come on, guys. I just want to hear from you all. I think you're from different backgrounds. Yeah. So fine. I think I got some of the responses. That's very good. I just want to draw that each and every the steps to make you understanding about everything. Let me just going to explain about the in-depth understanding about why do you require the cloud is basically, and we'll discussing about we'll see how we can able to log into the AWS account, how we can able to set up the servers. Also, we can see that how we can deploy applications on AWS cloud computing. That is what is our today's agenda it is. So first, let's try to first make you understanding about why do you require the cloud computing. I don't take much time to spend on the theoretical part. I'll be more focusing about the practical sessions. Okay. Let's first, I'll take the 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to explaining about the what is cloud computing and why we require the cloud computing it is. Let's say, for example, you are a software developer and you have the requirement. The requirement is, for example, we have to develop the Flipkart application. The Flipkart application we have to provide the service to the customers, right? That is my like the what is exactly I need the specific requirements. I wanted to develop this application. I want to provide service to the customers. As you know that whenever you want to develop any kind of applications, we have to follow that SDLC methodologies. Like we just have the different phases. Like we have the requirements gathering, we have design phase, we have development phase, and we have testing phase, we have deployment phase, and we have something it is called as a maintenance phase. Like how many phases we have? Like we have 6 phases are there. Each and every phase of the life cycle is very important. So whenever you want to develop any kind of application, definitely we have to follow the SDLC, the methodologies. Like we can go with the waterfall methodology, or we can go with the agile methodology, or we can go with the lean methodology. Like we have different methodologies we have to follow, and we have to develop the application. Let's say right now, we have a software development team. Let's say, for example, we have a software development team. So where the software development team trying to understanding about the requirements and they're trying to implement the application. Okay. So if you guys are facing that little bit, I'm just trying to increase the font size. Yeah. So this is nothing but we have a software development team where they're trying to develop the application, right? So let's, for example, any application you take, they're trying to create the executable files. So we don't run code directly in the servers, right? Say, for example, this is my server where I wanted to deploy this application. See, whenever you talk about the server, it is basically you have to understanding about what is meant by server. See, server is nothing but it is a high configuration computer. If you talk about the simple words, right? This is nothing but my server. See, whenever I talk about the server, it is nothing but my high configuration computer. Now, what is the use of this particular server? That is my question. It is here. So what is the use of the server? Why do you require the server? It is basically, so server is a high configuration computer where we can able to host or we can able to deploy your applications. Let's say, for example, the Flipkart applications, whatever we have, somebody is disturbing the screen. Could you please don't do all these things? If you're really not interested, you can leave for this call. I can say about it. Please don't disturb this session. It is. Let's, for example, we have the Flipkart application now. This is nothing but the Flipkart application, right? So whenever you talk about the application, this application we have to deploy in the production servers. So whenever you talk about the deployment phase, we have different environments, right? We have the dev environment, and we have the test environment, and we have the staging environment, and we have something it is called the production environment. These are the different kind of environments we have. So each and every environment is basically we require a server to test the applications. Now, whenever you just go to that any website, if you just hit the enter the flipkart.com, and if you just go to here mention amazon.com, or if you just go to here and if you talk about the mintra.com here, we can see that what basically it is going to be happened. See, it is whenever you just talk about the like any kind of application, whenever you want to deploy the application in the production servers, then only we can able to access the application through this particular portals, right? Now, the same way, where the applications are running, that is my question is all about. See, now you are hitting the flipkart.com, you are getting this output, right? That means you're getting response to your request. If you go to that amazon.com, we can see that I send the request, I'm getting the response. So whenever you are going to get these particular requirements, whenever you are going to hit the URL, you are going to get the response. My question to you guys is where this responses is coming from. That is my question is all about. See, responses is always the request go to that server. In the server, what happening is basically, so whenever you send the request is nothing but what you are going to sending, right? See, for example, when I just mentioned about the www.flipkart.com, that means we just need to understanding about how the Flipkart it is say the request URL. Now I'm sending the request here. The request has to get the response, right? So how we are going to get the response? So we need some protocols to get the responses to your requests. This is nothing but we have to understanding about how you are going to get the request and the responses. Now, this is my server. Where is my application is running, right? So whenever you want to set up the server, there are two ways we can able to set up servers. So first, I'll talk about the what is mean by the physical servers. So why we require the physical servers? If we go with the physical servers, what is the disadvantages you are going to get? That is what exactly I just wanted to explain. So whenever you go the physical server, that means the first you have to purchase the hardware. Look at the things, what I'm just trying to make the points. It has a lot of meaning. See, whenever you just want to set up any physical server, first of all, we require to buy a hardware. So first, when you just require to buy a hardware, that means whenever you are going to purchase any server, we have to decide that how much configuration do you require? How much configuration you require? See, for example, Flipkart is a very big application, right? It is a huge, large enterprise application where I won't deploy in a physical server. So what is the configurations you may require? Let's say, for example, I may require 500 GB of RAM. Let's say, for example, I require the 10 TB of storage. Yeah. So whenever you just want to purchase any server, it's basically the first we need the configurations. Let's say, for example, when I want to set up the server, we can see the configurations, how much we require. Let's say I need 500 GB of hard disk and I need 100 TB of storage. This is basically what requirement I need. See, for example, whenever you just go with this, configurations, how much amount do you need to invest? See, apart from that, what we required? See, for example, first I need to set up the server. See, once you set up the server, the second point is basically I need the OS. See, OS, we should not use the crack versions, right? We have to go with the license versions. And if I want to set up my server, the basically I need something, it is the call it as a, let's say, for example, I need a space where I want to set up my hardware or where I need to set up my data center. And the fourth one, I need a system admin to taking care of my server cities. This is like, we just need to understanding about everything. See, for example, my question is, if server is got crashed, if server is got crashed, so how are you going to manage your data? How are you so going to manage your application? Or what about the data? What about the data? So there are a couple of questions which I wanted to get to your mind. Let's say, for example, I'm just getting the too much traffic towards my application. So how are you going to manage your traffic it is? So this is something which it is very important thing which we have to understanding about whenever you just go with any of the application deployment. See, for example, if I just go to shop, if I want to purchase the, for example, 250, if I want to require the 16 GB of RAM, and if I just go with the Motorola Edge, or if I just go to any other mobile, definitely it's going to cost me like around 30,000 to 50,000. What I'm just talking about, only the mobile phone, which I need a configuration of 250 GB and 16 GB RAM. See, for example, I require 512 GB of, let's for example, I require 512 GB of storage. I can just go with the SSD. And if I required, let's for example, 8 GB of RAM, it's like how much do I need to invest to purchase one particular laptop? Say, for example, when I just go with the ThinkPad, I almost need to spend around 60,000 to 70,000. See, why I'm talking about all these things is nothing but to make you understanding about the cost awareness of the application. See, whenever you just go to this option here, you can just look at my screen. If you wanted to purchase 500 GB of RAM, 100 TB of storage, really, we need to invest some lakhs of rupees to set up your hardware. So because the cost is going to be very high whenever you're going to purchase the hardware. And the second point is nothing but we need OS license to purchase. Let's, for example, if you just go with the any server, we have to purchase license OS. And we need a space where I need to pay rent every month for the space which I'm occupying to set up my data center. It is one of the things which we need to understand. And the fourth one, I need an employee, a dedicated employee to make sure to taking care of my server it is. Whether server is running up or not, what are the application which is running in top of the server, it is going to be collapsed. You're going to get the application downtime. Whenever you're going to get application downtime, the ultimately you're going to get something, it is called as a business loss. See, the end of the day, where we have to understanding about how you are going to make a profitable organization, how we can, that is very, very important thing which we have to understand. And if you look at my screen, there is two questions which I have written over there. See, for example, this is my physical server. When I talk about if my physical something happened to my physical server, what are the application which is running in my server? What is the issue you're going to face? How you are going to manage your application failure? That is also a very big question right now in the industry, right? And if you just go with the traffic, for example, if you look at the Hotstar, look at the Geo Cinemas, look at this Flipkart, look at the Myntra applications, look at this Amazon applications. Whenever they're going to release some sales, Independent Day sales or Freedom sales, Diwali sales or Dasara sales, see, upcoming all the months are going to be filled with the sales. If I just go the next month, October, I'm going to get the Dasara sales. If I'm just going for January, I'm got New Year sales. If I'm just going for another year, like I'm just going to get the seasonal festival sales. See, whenever you're going for any sales, whenever you're getting too much traffic here towards your application server, how you are going to manage your applications? If my more traffic is coming towards my application, my CPU resources are going to be consumed. When the CPU resources are going to be consumed, so what is going to be happen? There might be chance that your application is server is going to be crashed, right? So how we are going to manage all the things? See, this is all the points which we have to understand before we move on the cloud computing, right? See, cloud computing is nowadays is a trending thing, right? So what is mean by cloud computing? Because if you just go to everywhere, every job profile, they will ask, do you know about the cloud? Irrespective of any of the cloud, you take about AWS, you take about the GCP, you take about the Azure, you take about the Oracle cloud, you take about the Alibaba cloud, you take about any cloud, but every profile is very, very important, which we have to understand about. Do you have really have the knowledge about the cloud computing? See, the one of the very promising technology is in the industry right now, it is called the cloud computing. You believe or not, it has a lot of scope. I don't want to give the false statements over here. Whenever you talk about the cloud computing, it has a lot of demand in the market. We just need to understanding about first what is cloud computing. So why do you require the cloud computing? How it is the cloud computing came into the market. Let me talk about what is mean by the cloud computing. Why we require the cloud computing. See, whenever you talk about the cloud computing, you should understanding about the cloud. It is nothing but a remote services. It is nothing but the services, whatever you required for your organizations, all the services you are going to get it from where? From this particular internet. See, whenever I talk about cloud computing, it is always you should understanding about all the services you are going to get from the internet. Whether you may require the server. See, for example, I may require the different kind of servers. See, in the servers, when I talk about here, we can see I may require the application servers. I may require the database servers. All right. If we just talk about the database servers, I may require something, it is called as a, for example, if I want to deploy applications securely, I need something, it is called network. I need something, it is called storage, where I want to store all my data. See, I think everybody is aware about the Netflix, right? Where the Netflix is going to be store all their movies, because you're not getting any downtime, buffer time. We can see that the moment when you click on the Netflix, it is automatically loading your application, right? How we are going to getting that? The streaming app, where they're going to store all the movies. See, for example, if I just going to store, if I'm just going to store 10 movies in my laptop, the complete space is going to be occupied. So same example, if you just go to Netflix, we had different categories, right? Tollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, Kollywood. So where it is going to be stored all the movies, we need a lot of space for that. Where are how they are going to manage storage? See, for example, my laptop hard disk is got filled. If I go back, if I want to purchase 500 GB hard disk, I have to invest 3,000 rupees for only for 500 GB. So like that, if you wanted to purchase like some TBs, some PBs, so how we are going to get these particular storage? That is also a very big question mark in everyone. So that is the reason we just need to understanding about what exactly mean by the cloud computing. See, whenever you talk about the cloud computing, it is nothing but a delivery of the computing resources. Delivery of the computing resources. Whenever I talk about computing resources, the services, whatever I'm just going to provide to the customers, all the services I'm just going to provide to the internet. So whenever you just talk about the internet, that means my customers can able to access any kind of services, whatever they require from anywhere from all over the world. If my customer, there is a Singapore location, they can access my servers. If my customer sitting at Australian location, they can access my server. If my customer sitting at US location, they can able to access my server. If my customer sitting at Bangalore location, they can able to access my server. Irrespective of the customer, wherever it is, they can able to access all the resources, whatever which I'm just going to provide. So this is what exactly we have to understanding about what is mean by delivery of computing services. All the services, whatever I'm just going to provide to the customers, all the services I'm providing to the internet. That is what we have to understanding about the cloud computing. See, cloud, it is nothing but we have the data center in different locations, and we are going to setting up all these particular servers over there. And whenever my customers require, I'm just going to share all the resources over there. See, whenever you talk about the cloud, we can see definitely we require something. It is called as a data center should be available in different location, right? See, for example, if we just take our Hyderabad, see, Hyderabad is one of the largest data center in Asia for the AWS. See, they have invested how much it is? They have invested 36,500 crores to set up a AWS data center in Hyderabad location. So if you just look at here, this is nothing but data center. When I talk about data center, it is nothing but a collection of servers where I'm just trying to manage all the servers at a single place it is. See, this is nothing but my all the servers where I'm just trying to keep all the servers in a different location in a single data center. So this is what we can call it as a region. Whenever I talk about the region, nothing but it contains the set of servers it is. So this is what we have to understanding about what is mean by region. So in this region, we have a different servers. Each and every server has very high configurations which we have. So very few seconds, I'll take you to the practicals, everything. Once you guys get the clarity about what is exactly cloud computing. So try to understanding about what is mean by the cloud computing definition here. If you look at the definition, it clearly telling that cloud computing is on demand, a delivery of computing services. What is mean by on demand? Very simple. See, for example, I'm running my Flipkart application where in the cloud. Okay. See, every day I'm just getting the 10 lakhs customers. Think about it. But the moment when I announce something, it is called as a big billion days. So what is happening, my customers are going to increase 10 lakhs to 2 CR. That means every day I'm getting 10 lakhs customers, but now I'm getting how much it is? 2 CR I'm getting. So we just need to understanding about like how we are trying to manage this topic. See, for example, if you think about we have a physical server, I need to purchase another server, right? To manage the load which is coming towards my application. I need more server to manage my applications. But where are you going to get the hardware? Again, we have to go to shop and we had to purchase the hardware and we want to set up the everything and we want to deploy the same application. It's going to take a lot of time. By the time your server is going to be crashed. So on demand means right the moment, right time, we need all the servers. That is the reason only we just need something. It is called as a what is mean by the cloud computing. See, it is very simple. The definition is saying about on demand delivery of computing services. See, whenever you read any server, whenever you need any storage, we no need to bother about the cost and we no need to bother about the availability of the services. The moment whenever it required, we can able to create the n number of servers we can add to the production environment. And the moment when you require storage, we don't require to look up at the vendors. We can able to create a storage how much you require that we can able to do it. This is what exactly we have to understanding about what is mean by on demand. You see the definition here, such as storage, servers, databases you require. You may require this networking. You may require software. You may require software analytics here. See, whatever you require, everything we're going to provide through the remote sources. That means through the internet, they can able to access from anywhere, wherever they require all the resources. This is what exactly we just need to understanding about what is mean by the cloud, the computing. It is nothing but we're going to provide the right amount of services at the right geographical locations. The second point which we have to understand about the why do you require the cloud? See, why do you require the cloud? very important point. See, cloud is nothing but you require something, it is called as a to reduce the cost. See, there are n number of reasons are there in the list. It may be speed, it may be a secure, it may be backup. There may be so many reasons are there, but we just need to understanding about only major point is about the cost. See, for example, yeah. For example, whenever I'm just going to go with the cost, what is basically cost it is all about? Yeah. So what is basically the cost? Why do you require the cost is basically, see, we just need to understanding about every service. It is related to something, it is called the cost. Why we require cost? See, cost is basically it is depends on the how much amount of money which you are investing over there and how much money you're getting something it is called as a profitable. See, if we just take this something it is called as a, yeah, if we just take something it is called as a, if it go with the 2006 or 2005, or you just take gonna go back 2004, see, we are investing the 75% of the cost only for what? Only for the only infrastructure. So because you have to maintain your servers physically, we need someone to manage your servers. See, everything, we just need to understanding about everything, we just need something, right? That is the reason we just need to understanding about cost is a major factor. Cost is very, very important. We just need to understanding about how we are trying to manage your cost. So we have to understanding about how we can reduce the cost. So for example, if I'm just going to purchase one server, that server is required only for 2 months, but I have to invest how much cost it is. I have to invest, for example, 50 lakhs rupees I have to invest. So after 2 months, it is a waste of my money. I need to sell out this particular server for the second handle. So that is the reason we just need to understanding about all these things are major factors. And apart from the cost, we just need to understanding about the speed, and we have to understanding about the security. So these are the major areas which we have to understanding about. If we just go with the security, and after that we just need to understanding about availability of the resources. We just need the resources at the right amount of time. So these are the major factors which we have to understanding about why do you require the cloud it is. So fine. Now we just need to understanding about like how we can able to create the servers in the cloud. That is what we have to understanding about right now. See, whenever you wanted to manage the whenever you just need to understanding about so how you are trying to manage all the resources. So whenever you're trying to manage all the resources, we just need to understanding about how we are trying to manage all the resources. So we are going to manage all the resources through the cloud it is. That is the reason only we just need something it is called as a cloud, which is going to provide all the resources whatever you require. See, we don't need to purchase the hardware. We don't need to set up we don't need to purchase the OS. We don't need space. We don't need system admin to manage my servers. Whenever I require server, I can create to the internet. I can destroy my infrastructure whenever I don't require. That is what is the main reason why we have to go with this option name. It is called as the cloud computing. So because of that reason, you are going to saving hardware cost, you are saving OS cost, you are saving the infra cost, you are saving the manpower cost. Like we are going to save a lot of money whenever you just code something. It is called the cloud computing. It is. So this is the reason why we require something. It is called as the cloud computing. It is all about. Okay. Now let's move on, and we just need to understanding about how we can able to log into the cloud. So how we can able to make you understanding about how to set up your servers. See, for example, I'm just logging to this AWS account. See, AWS is nothing but it is a cloud provider. So whenever you require any services, we can go with this AWS. we can go with the Azure, we can go with the GCP. But how can we choose a particular cloud for a particular client it is? See, client will decide which cloud they want to go for it is. See, for example, when I just go with this AWS now, if I click on send to the console, we can just look at my screen. How are we going to deploy this application on the console? So first of all, I'm just going to log into the AWS account. I'm going to setting up one server. On top of that, I'm just going to deploying an application. I will tell you that how you are going to access my application. The first one, let me log into my account. Click on this root. So you have to create the AWS account, which is a free of cost. It is going to provide the 1 year validity. How many years? 1 year, right? But it doesn't mean that all the services we can access. No, no, no. It is not like that. We can access only services whichever required. See, I'm just going to first provide the root user account, right? So I'm just logging to my team. I'm just logging to my account. So if you click on this now, I just wanted to go something. It is called as a password. Like what is a password which I need to provide? Say let's the moment when you're creating this particular account, we had to provide the password. Okay. That password which I'm just trying to entering right now. And once I log into this account, whatever you guys can able to see on the screen, this is what we can call it as a console, where we can able to access all the services, whatever we require. See, if you just look at the right side, top corner, this is what I'm talking about data centers. See, look at here, we have the North Virginia, we have the Ohio, we have the North California, we have a Oregon, we have a Mumbai, and we have something it is called Sydney, Tokyo. These are the different kind of regions we have, right? We can choose a region, whatever we require. This is going to provide by the customer. See, customer is nothing but my client. He will tell that where he needs to deploy his applications. Whether you want to deploy in a Singapore region, whether you want to deploy in a Sydney region, or you want to deploy in an Ireland region, like depends on the customer requirement. We can choose the region where he would like to deploy the applications. See, for example, I'm just going to deploying an application in something it is called as a Ireland region. See, before I'm just going to choose a region, I just wanted to explain like what exactly you want. Okay. Now, for example, I'm just going to choose something. It is called as a like go to services. We have different services. We have see we have analytics. We have application integration. We have the blockchain. We have business applications. We have a cloud financial management. We have the compute. We have the containers. See, whenever you want to create a Kubernetes clusters, we have to go with the containers. It is too advanced to talk about right now. You want to create databases, we have to go with this DynamoDB for NoSQL databases. You want to create relational databases, we have to go something it is called RDS. And if you want to create, you want to manage applications by using DevOps, we have to go developer tools. And here we have something it is called as a code commit, code deploy, pipeline, code store, everything. Now, if we just want to create a virtual servers in the cloud, we have to go something it is called as a compute. See, now what I'm just trying to do it is do this another 5 to 6 minutes. I'm just setting up one EC2 instances in my AWS cloud. I'm going to deploy an application on top of it. I'm just going to give the access to everyone. This is what exactly I'm just trying to provide to this particular another 10 to 15 minutes. Now I will just need to create one server. So whenever you are going to creating a server, the first we have to understanding about like what are the configurations which we require, what is the OS we have to choose, how much storage we require. These are the prerequisite sites we have to collect information from the client. When you want to set up the server on the any of the cloud platform, it is you may use the Azure, you may use whatever you require. Definitely, we just need to understanding about all these things, whatever you require. So now if you just look at my screen, these are the things, the basically which we have to understanding about. See, first, I need something it is called as a which OS I have to choose. Which OS I have to choose, no problem. Okay. Now, the second problem is nothing but what configurations do you require? Nothing but RAM and number of CPUs, how many we required. And next we required something it is called storage, right? Then we have to go something it is called as a networking part as well, where you are trying deploying your applications. That is what we have to understand. Now I want to go to that option here. We can see, look at my screen. I have to go something it is called as a, let's say, AWS account. If I go to compute and go to EC2, look at here. EC2 stands for the Elastic Cloud Compute. Now I have to click on the virtual servers in the cloud. See, physical server means where we can able to see, touch, and you can feel. But remote servers existed somewhere in the location. You can't able to see physically, but we can able to feel that server. That is what basically the difference we have to understanding about what exactly mean by virtual servers. Now, what I can do first, I want to create one server. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to choose the region. It is called London region. In the London region, I'm just going to setting up all my servers. So how we can able to set up all your servers? Look at my screen. The first one, I have to go something it is called as a instances. So this is nothing but my dashboard, which is going to display that how many instances we have, what is the key elastic IP address we have, what is the key pair we have. So all these things are very, very important. Now I'm just going to, yeah, I'm just going to create one instance right now. Click on the instance here. Click on the launch instance. Click on the launch instance. I'm creating one virtual server right now. I'm creating one virtual server. So how do you going to create the virtual server here? So very important. The first, we have to go, what is the name of the server? The name of the server, the first of all, which I have to mention, it is nothing but a Linux server. Okay, this is the name. Look at here. Amazon EC2 allows you to create virtual machines, instances that runs on the AWS cloud. Now here, what I can do, we just need to provide the, what is the name, next server. If we come down, we have to select what is application and OS images which we required. See, we have something it is called as Amazon Linux here, and we have something it is called as a Mac OS, and we have something it is called Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. We have different servers we required, and we have to choose that which server you required. See, for example, if I require something, it is called as a, for example, I need something, it is called as a, I'll take something, it is called Ubuntu server. See, how can we able to create the Ubuntu server? Because it's very important for me to create the, what is meant by Ubuntu server. Why do you want to create the Ubuntu server? Why can't you go for other servers? See, whichever server we require, that server we have to create, and we just need to understanding about, like, how do you going to create the server? So when I just go with the Ubuntu, if we come down, we can see about the which OS we have to choose. Now I'm just going to choose something it is called as a Ubuntu server. Let's, for example, we can see that we have Ubuntu, and after that we have, look at my screen, there are different OSs we have. See, we have the Ubuntu server 24.04 LTS, and after that Ubuntu server 24.04 LTS SSD volume type, and 20.04 LTS SQL server. We can see that we have different servers which we have, and based on your requirement, we have to choose that which server we require. That is what we just need to understanding about, like how can we able to create the servers. So find right now, I'm just going to choose something it is called as a which kind of server which I need to create, and what server which I need to create. First, I'm going to choose this free tier eligible, because there are some of the services which is a free of cost. There are some of the services which is makes gonna cost us. So first, let me create the free tier eligible. Nothing but we are going to choose the service which is the free of cost. Now I have to choose this something it is called as Ubuntu server 24.04 04 LTS. Now, after that, what we can do that, I can able to choose that instance type. See, whenever you talk about instance type, which is nothing but like what is the configuration required for your server? Like how many number of CPUs we required, how many CPUs we required that we have to select. We can see that we have different server type we have. Like we have a T.micro, a T.nano, and we have a T.small, and we have a T.medium, and we have T.large, and we have T.extra large, and we have T.extra large. Like depends on your customer requirement. We have to choose that what kind of server we have to choose, whether you want to go with the which kind of service we require. See, for example, if I want to go with the something, it is called as a T.micro, which is basically provide the one CPU, 1 GB RAM, which is a free of cost. But look at the pricing it is. See, whenever you create any server, which is a free 750 hours per month, with if you go with the feeder eligibilities. Now, if you just go look at my screen, it is going to provide the one CPU and 1 GB RAM, which is feeder eligible. And after that, what I can do, I just need something, it is called key pair, because how securely you are going to connect your server from your laptop machines. So let's say, for example, this is nothing but my laptop. If we just go to here, if I just go with the laptop, this is nothing but my laptop, right? I want to connect the remote server, whatever I have created from the, for example, I created my remote server where I created, see, I just created my remote server from the AWS account. In the region, it is nothing but the reason it is called as idle. So how can we able to access my server from my here to here? That is the reason we need something. It is called as the protocols. I'll talk about later. Right now we see that the steps how we can able to do that. So now I need a configuration of the server. We can look at if we go the Red Hat, it is charging the cost 0.0276 USD per hour. If we go to USD, if we go with Linux, it is going to charging 0.0132 USD per hour. If we go Linux base, it is charging 0.0132 per hour. If we go to Windows pricing, they're going to charging 0.0178 USD per hour. Now, what is the configuration which is choosing right now? The configuration of the server, which we have choose something it is called as a 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM it is. This is what exactly the configurations which I have for the server. Okay. Now let me try to configure the server. Now, whenever you are configuring your server, look at the things what I required. Okay. Now we can see that the first we have chosen something. It is called as a which OS we required. Nothing but so we should not call it as OS. Basically, we have to choose something. It is called as a Amazon Mission Image. What is meant by Amazon Mission Image? It is a template. All the OSs, application servers, and everything is available in the form of the, I can say it in the form of something. It is called as the OSs. Now we can see that I've chosen the Ubuntu, and after that, if we just come down, we can just choose something. It is called as the configuration of the instance type, like 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. Next, we need a key pair, the basically to access your server. For example, I have a mobile phone which contains all my personal information, right? I don't want to give, I don't want it to provide the access to anyone. So that is the reason what I want to do. I just want to keep all the secrets in a with a password lock for my mobile. The same thing, whenever you want to access your server, definitely we need something. It is called as a we need something. It is called as a username and key pair. That is the reason only I want to set up. I want to set up only something. It is called as a key pair. See, look at here. We can use a key pair to securely the connect your instance. Ensure that you have access to the selected key pairs before you launch the instance. This is what we just need to understanding about. Now, definitely, I need something. It is called as a. I need something. It is called as a instance key pair which I required. See, after that, what I can do, I need something it is called as a like a username as well to connect my server. So first I need to set the key pair. Look at here. I can able to create a new key pair, provide the key pair name. Let's say I'm just going to mention about the codes Vita, which is nothing but my key pair name. Look at this, nothing but key pair types. Like we have RS algorithm, we have something it is called as a ED255 algorithm we have, and we had .pem file, we had .ppk files, we had different categories we have, right? So I just need to go something it is called .ppk file. Why do you want to go with the .ppk file? Because I want to connect my server to the putty private key pair. That is the reason I'm just go something it is called as a .ppk file. So now click on the create key pair. Look at my screen. The key pair it is going to be downloaded. So when it is downloaded, you can't able to understanding about what contains your key pair. Everything, whatever it is there inside your key pair, it has got encrypted format. Because if you look at here, we use some encryption algorithms to make sure your key is got encrypted. Look at this key pair, it is encrypted format. We can't able to understanding about what exactly it is. So now this is my key pair. Now we just need something, it is network settings. See, the next, I think tomorrow, we're going to talk about what is VPC, what is subnets, what is public and private subnets, what is routing table, what is internet gateway, and we'll discussing about what is elastic IP address. This network related, all the concepts we're discussing about tomorrow. Now, I'll just try to give some glance about what is minimum network. See, whenever you're trying to manage all the things, we have to keep it securely, right? See, for example, you have the cupboard where you are going to keep all your belongings to there and you're going to lock the cupboard. If someone would like to take something from the cupboard, they have to open the lock because I'm talking about how securely you're keeping all the resources. The same thing, whenever you talk about the cloud, whenever you want to manage all the resources at one place in a secure network, something it is called as a VPC. So VPC stands for the virtual private a cloud, which is basically to make you understanding about how we are trying to keep the resources very securely. That is what we have to understanding about what is mean by network. See, whenever you want to select any VPC, we have to go with the network settings, click on edit here. We can see about this is a VPC. See, whenever you're going to working for any application, for any client, will never ever deploy any server on the default VPC. We have to create our own VPC and we have to create our own subnets and we want to deploy all these applications by our own. That is what we have to understanding about what is meant by the VPC. So now virtual private cloud that we'll talk about tomorrow session. Now here, look at my screen. Right now, I'm deploying my application in the same default network. See, this is not the right way, which I'm talking about right now. So now first what I can do, I need to go to this option, look at my screen. Now I'm trying to select the subnet where I wanted to deploy my application and which subnet we have to choose because every region is going to divide it into different subnets. Now after that, if we come down, we can see about auto assign public IP address. There are two IP address for every server. One is a public, one is for external IP address. See, whenever we talk about public IP address, we just need to understanding about how externally you're going to access your application. When you talk about private IP address, which we need to understanding about how securely you are trying to connecting to remotely within your organization for different servers. That is the difference between public and private IP addresses. Now, what is meant by security group here? The security group, it is nothing but set of firewalls, rules. See, for example, the moment when you just go to any website, we can see there is something, it is called log symbol, right? That means HTTPS. They enabled the certificate, which is nothing but protocol port 43. And whenever you want to send the request, if you want to get response from your web server, we need protocol 80. And whenever you want to connect your instance from the remote to, I mean to say, from this remote to your laptop, definitely we need something, it is called SS protocol. The SS stands for the secured cell. This protocol is basically going to help you. This going to help you how securely connect your instances. How securely, connect your instances. See, if you don't enable these SS protocols, we can't able to connect your remote server from your laptop. This is for sure. So now what I can do, I have to go to this option here. We can see there is the protocol. We can just look at here which protocols we required. See, first I need to create security group. Let's say I'm just going to mention about the course Vita. And after that, if you come down, we can see about the what is the description. The description also, I'm just going to provide the same thing here. And what is the inbound rules which you require? See, inbound rules means which traffic it is coming towards your server. Outbound rules means what traffic you're sending from your server to outside the network. That is what we have to understanding about inbound and outbound rules. Let's go with this inbound rules now. This is nothing but my inbound rules. We can see about the what is the traffic which you are trying to receiving from here. I told you that whenever you wanted to get the whenever you want to connect, definitely we need something it is called as a SS protocol. The same way, so now we can just look at here. What I just wanted to understand here, if we just go down, I wanted to send traffic here. So how we can do it now? So whenever I send a request, I want to access my application to the web browser. So for that, definitely I need something it is called as a HTTP protocol. So here, source type it is called anywhere. And we can see that which traffic it is you are trying to get through your server it is. That is the reason if you look at my screen, there are two things are there. If we just look at my screen, there are two things which we have to understand. One is nothing but a SS protocol which I enable, and one is nothing but HTTP protocol which I have enabled. So that is what we have to understanding about what exactly mean by. Now, if you just come down, you will see about the outbound rules. So outbound rules means which topic you are sending from your server to outside the network it is. So this is what we have to understanding about inbound rules and what is meant by outbound rules it is. After this, now I need storage. If you go with the feeder eligible customers, can get up to 30 GB of EBS. EBS stands for the elastic block storage, right? So I need provide the 30 GB storage, right? So which is a free of cost. I don't need to invest anything over there. And if you look at my screen, like number of servers, how many servers we required? I need only one server as of now. I don't need multiple servers. So this is the configurations which we have to choose whenever you're trying to setting up the servers, right? So can anyone have any questions? You can raise your hand so I can able to unmute. You can ask the questions. After that, I'll try to connect. I'll deploy the application. I see that one hand is raised. You can go ahead. Whether you are able to unmute yourself. Yeah. Now go ahead, Mohammed.
Sir, this is paid section or free section, sir?
This is a free of cost.
Sir, finally I get a certificate or not, sir?
You guys, the correspondent coordinator, they will contact you guys. Next, any questions related to this topic, ask now. That is Naga Venkata Ravi Tejas.
Same about certificate only, sir.
Okay. Now, yeah. Next, we have to go to that server, click on the launch instance. You're going to launch instance right now. Now what I want to do, now I want to connect the instance here. Now how can we connect your instance now? If we click on the refresh, we can see what is going to be happening. So how we are trying to access your application. Now first, I need to connect my server here. Click on the connect. We have to go to SS client. And here we can see that you have to take from the, just go to here. This is nothing but my Ubuntu server, right? I want to go with the Ubuntu and just go with the putty. Go to the host name. Go to that appearance, click on the change. Just trying to make it 14 row and go to connection here. I'll provide the 60 seconds. After that, I'll go to SSH here, authorization, the credentials. I'm trying to upload the key pair, what I have created. Click on this open now. If you look at my screen, I'm just trying to connect my server. This is my server. If you clearly observe that, the server, whatever I have created, I just able to connecting here. Don't worry about the commands, which I'm just trying to explain now. The first, we have to become a root user. Look at my screen, you're going to become a root user. And after that, what we can do that, we have to use a command called apt-get update-y. See, I'm just trying to updating my operating system to install the packages, whatever I required. So if we just type the command called apt-get update, you see that my screen, I'm just trying to updating my application server. Now here, I have to install my server. How can I able to install my server? See, first, we have to use a command called apt-get. See, there are different kind of servers we have. We have the web server, we have the application server, we have database server. This is what we can call it as a three-tier architecture we have. So whenever you talk about the three-tier architecture, whenever you want to get the response to your request, all the resources are going to be stored in the front end. You take any, when you take any images, like we have HTML pages, whatever you take, everything it is going to be stored over there. See, for now, if you type the command called apt-get, I'm just trying to mention about the install. I'm going to install a web server. The web server name it is called as Apache 2 here. Go to Apache 2 -y. Now hit the enter. See, I'm just trying to installing the Apache web server. It is basically web server, which is going to be store all the web pages. Whenever the customers are going to hit enter, they are going to get the response to the request. That is what we have to understanding about what is meant by Apache server. If we just type the command called which Apache 2, if we just look at my screen, you are going to get the response. You can see that it is going to be installed. If we type the command called service Apache 2 status, look at my screen, my server is active and running status. Now I want to deploy application here. Before we deploy the application, I want to check that my instance is running or not. If we go to instance ID, go with the public IP address, go to that browser. If you mention the port number, it is called 80. Once you hit the enter, check whether you are able to access the your test page or not. Even you guys also can try, check whether you are able to access the test page or not. Yeah. Could you please check whether you guys are able to see the test page? Yep. Now, see, I have my GitHub repository. Where is my all the source code is available in the GitHub repository. See, for example, if we just go there, if I go to my repositories now, and here, for example, I'll go with this application. Let's say, for example, I'll just go to e-commerce application. Or I will go with the test type from a web app. We have different web pages we have. See, for different repositories we have. I'm just trying to take this code, copy that URL. I'll try to clone into my machine it is. So I'm just trying to mention about the which Git. I'm just trying to check that whether my Git is installed or not. We can say it is installed. I'm just trying to clone the repository. Clone, right click. Now hit the enter. We can see I'm just trying to cloning my code. It is just type the ls command. You see that complete application has got cloned. If you go to that CD, I want to go inside this directory now. Now hit the enter, type the ls command. We have all the files, right? We have the cloud services.html page, and we have content HTML page, we have HTML page available. I want to copy all these files in default location of my server. Now, if we just type the command called cp command to copy -r, if there is any directories also it is there, we can able to copy that. So I just need to copy that all the files into that var www HTML directory. This is the location where I want to copy all the files. I will just go back. I'll cross verify whether all the files are available. Go to var www and I'll go to HTML. Now hit the enter. When I type the ls command, you can see that all the files got copied. If we go back now, if we click on this refresh screen, we can see that your application is got deployed. We can see that this is the application which I have deployed. I can able to access through that anywhere. So I can give the URL. You guys can try whether this application is accessible to everyone or not. This is what we have to understanding about how we can able to set up the cloud services, how to convert your servers into a web servers, how we can able to generate a code, and the code is going to store inside my GitHub repository. Now I have deployed this application inside my server so that anybody can able to access throughout the world. Can you check whether you guys are able to access or not and confirm in the chat? I can see a couple of responses. That's great. Is it able to accessible? Able to accessible? That's great. I'm just waiting for some more responses. In YouTube also, I can see that the many people are telling that yes, it is accessible. That's great idea. Yeah, this is all about today's session, guys. Today we have discussed about what is cloud computing, why we require cloud computing, and also we have discussed about what is EC2 instance. And after that, we discussed about what is web server and how we can deploy the application in a web server. And we see that how we can able to access it, right? This is what we discussed about in today's session. See, like this, there are 5 days we are going to conduct the workshops. Today and tomorrow, day after tomorrow also we'll try to conduct the workshop. We can see that that means tomorrow session will talk about like how we can able to create secure networks in AWS. That means what is VPC, what is subnets, how we can able to create subnets, what is public and what is private, what is internet gateway, what is elastic IP address, what is route table. That everything we'll discussing about tomorrow with a clear, neat diagram, guys. Yeah. So this is all about today's session. You guys can fill the feedback form which the team has provided. So it is useful for us to improve that in the next couple of sessions. The recordings, I think we can check in the YouTube. I think that link is available. If you go with the course beta, where you can find out the link. I think team is going to contact. They're going to help you guys. Yeah. So thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, guys, at the same time.